Good, beautiful morning. It's Saturday, September the 10th, 2022, and I want to welcome you to the Saturday edition of our weekly show, which is called Supernatural Saturday, where we focus on meditation as a mechanism for awakening your divinity and allowing you to get differentiated from the personality that's been fabricated for you by the world and establishing a personality that's one of your own creation and your own choosing. What most people don't know is that they've been manufactured into being the personality that they are by the world. In fact, even the name that you think you have is not even yours. So it's important you understand that the mechanism of meditation is a device whereby you can retrain your body and your mind to function in a way that serves you rather than the way that has been conditioned by the environment to function. Much of the suffering in today's world, psychologically, mentally, and emotionally, is imposed, it's fabricated, it's manufactured. It is not a matter of choice. There's not one human being on this planet that would deliberately and intentionally choose to suffer their entire lives. This is a fabrication that can be altered and changed as a function and act of your will and your capacity to begin to recognize the absolute authority that you can cultivate over your mind and your body, and thereby create a new life for yourself, because the thoughts and memories and emotions that you've gathered from this lifetime are what is generating the experience you find yourself existing in right now. And our goal is very simple on this day, is to gently and easily demonstrate for you and show you from your own experience that you can cultivate a new vibrational state of awareness, a new mind, a more vibrant and healthy body by simple steps, such as learning to alter and change your mind as a function of your will. As we said a few moments before, even the name that you currently have is not something of your choosing. It was imposed upon you, as were many of the thoughts, ideas, and beliefs that govern the actions, words, and deeds that you perform every day, and even the situations and circumstances that surround you as your experiences are all products of what have been placed into your mind, mostly by the environment. Very few people we find in this physical dimension actually understand what it is to think independently of the world around them while exerting an influence upon it as a matter of creative choice. In the function of meditation, there are three very simple components to be considered. And simplicity is the most wondrous way to comprehend something. Unnecessary complexity is what has created human confusion far beyond a scope that is manageable. However, this can be reversed if you understand the simple mechanisms involved in learning to retrain, restructure your mind, your emotions, and your body as an act of your deliberate will. Let us first say that what you are as a physical entity is very different than what you are as a mental entity, a personality. And what you are as an awareness, as a soul, is different than what you are as a mental or physical mechanism. These are the three components that we will be addressing before we go into a short meditation, which you may, after experiencing it, expand and extend to serve your needs. For who are we to presuppose what your biology and your psychology and your awareness requires or demands at this time? We simply offer this up as a mechanism for you to begin to realize that you can alter and change what is in your mind and the emotions that what is in your mind generates, thereby altering and changing your physical expression or the creative energies that you emanate into this world as functions of your behavior. So these three components of awareness, which we prefer to use the term soul, spirit of universal light. Your awareness is soul. The construct of thought in your mind we refer simply to as acquired information, both from the experience of this physical dimension in the form that you find yourself, the personality that you've gathered, but there's also this other realm of information that your conventional psychologies call the unconscious mind, which is where you store all acquired experience from this lifetime. Every single moment of your experience is stored in this realm called the subconscious field, which can be accessed by you as an act of your will at any time. The third element of your experience is the physical body. Between your awareness, your mind, both the conscious and subconscious functions of it, and your biology, your awareness can assert full dominion over them and begin to affect the necessary constructive changes that you may be seeking in your life at this time. In your body, there is something that you need to understand. In your body is a mechanism of long-term memory that spans all experiential time and space on this physical planet. And it is called DNA in your conventional terms. This substance, DNA, is the long-term storage and retrieval information system about your experiences through all expressions of life that you've encountered while moving through this physical dimension, evolving yourself to this point of time and space where you can hear and see and smell and touch and taste and be conscious that you are doing so, and even alter and change your expression and experiences of this world as a function of your will. This long-term storage and retrieval system, your DNA, can be altered, changed, and accessed as a function of your will simultaneously. We are not going to go in great detail about this at this time. This will be for a later discussion, which will come soon. But our simple focus is to get you to the position where you are recognizing and beginning to grasp the understanding that you have an authority over your body, an authority over your thoughts and emotions that up to this point may not have been known to you. But each and every soul on this physical dimension, when they come to this position of evaluating thought, evaluating emotion, that is to place yourself into the position where you are observing these things, you move away from subjectivity to them. Much the same way as if you were climbing inside a box and the lid were closed, you would only think that what you were experiencing was within the box. Well, the same process is true for your mental structure, your conscious and unconscious mind. If you are entrapped in that realm of information, then you only understand and experience that realm of information. What we offer is a simple step to be able to step outside of that box of your mind and begin to reconsider and reevaluate the nature and quality of the thoughts that you currently possess, and consider incorporating new thoughts, new ideas into your mechanism in order to generate changes in the emotional field, or the field of energy, emotion, that certain thoughts can do. You can generate very specific emotions with certain qualities of thoughts. But if those thoughts remain unquestioned in the box of your mind, then you will simply be accepting that what you're experiencing is all that you are. And we will say, no, we disagree with that. You are simply experiencing what you've been conditioned to believe you are supposed to experience. But you may at any time lift your consciousness up to the position of evaluation, observation. And in that position, you can begin to enact transformation, a process whereby you begin to create your own personality, whereby you begin to evaluate what you've been given and how it serves you. Certain thoughts, ideas, and beliefs that you hold in the confines of your mind that you may have held fast to may in fact have absolutely no value for you, in which case, from the perspective of awareness, you would consider then, well, what thoughts or ideas do have value for my experience of creation and being in this physical body that I find myself at this time. You can come to that place in awareness very simply. And while we use specifics of language and communication, the underlying vibrational tone that's emanated through this sound frequency that you may be hearing will also offer your subconscious mind information to stimulate a different perception within its framework. Those of you that are struggling with mental and emotional challenges will find that you are not actually challenged. You are simply entrenched or in the box of that emotion or that thought process, unable to open the lid to look outside of it. And while some of you may find yourself dealing with certain qualities of emotion, you say, this is very overwhelming. I do not know how to deal with this. We would say to you, you simply just not have understood the process of how your mind and your body and your energy, which is emotions, are utilized as a function of your will. For in order for certain emotional qualities to exist in your body and certain emotional qualities to be perceptible to your mind, it requires that certain thought forms, certain ideas be maintained in mind, and that the body is reacting to those ideas that you maintain in your mind, consciously or unconsciously. We find that so many of you struggle with the unconscious component of information, in that you have these emotions and you do not understand what's causing them, and yet there is nobody telling you there is a way to ameliorate those emotions by simply understanding how the body sustains and maintains certain qualities of energy in the form of emotion by certain information or thoughts or ideas held in the subconscious field. You can affect your subconscious field through the functions of your biology. In other words, if you change the way your body is functioning, you can begin to affect the energy in the subconscious field. In the case where you do not have access to the information that is causing your anxiety or your fear or your depression, in the case where you do not have that information, then you must learn how to affect the subconscious field first to alter and change the way it is functioning automatically. In that process, enacting the body into a state of relaxation, directing the body into a state of relaxation, and maintaining that state of relaxation with the body will loan the body into a state that does not support nor sustain anxiety, nor depression, nor fear. A state of relaxation will not allow anxiety, fear, or depression to remain as a part of the physical experience. For depression, anxiety require very specific actions of your body. Those actions are based in the mechanisms of fight or flight. Your body is a very simple instrument. But when you assert authority over it and you bring your body into a place where it is simply relaxed and you keep it in that place, then the neurological information that you begin to translate back into your brain by directing the body into that state begins to then affect the unconscious realm of your body, and the mind begins to be stilled and calmed and quiet by the way in which you direct your body to function. This gives you a back door, so to speak, to work on your unconscious information. What often happens is once you gain an understanding of how to affect the unconscious, even if you do not know why the anxiety or depression is there, once you can alter or change that energy, it makes it much easier for you then, as a conscious awareness, to begin to evaluate the source and origins of these sensations of anxiety or depression. And once you can begin to evaluate and explore the sources of these emotions from a perspective where the body is not on a state of alert or in those emotional energies, you can then discover that some of your depression may be because you had certain experiences when you were very young that were repetitively uncomfortable, or you were not loved, or you were not appreciated. And then you can begin to correct those and establish love within your own consciousness. You can restore your mind and body to love as an act of your will, rather than seeking to find others in the world around you that will hopefully validate and give you the love and respect and consideration that you deserve. Oftentimes that does not happen. And you will find that people are not willing to do that. But you, at all points of time and space, have the authority to establish love, joy, peace, compassion, playfulness, curiosity in your own mind. You can redesign your mind as an act of your will through the function of meditation. The three functions or practices to establish a mechanism of meditation where you begin to teach or train your mind and body into a new state of function for you, where you train your mind and body in a new state of function for you, as opposed to the old model where your mind and body was trained by your environment and the environment trained you to be what you think you are. You now have the opportunity, if you understand what we were saying and you apply these simple mechanisms immediately upon yourself, you will gain personal knowledge and understanding that you can and do indeed affect thought. You do indeed affect emotion. You do indeed affect the function of your body as an act of your own personal will. And then you ultimately relieve yourself of the gross dependence that has been formulated upon the environment, where some of you expect the environment to provide you with everything because you do not know how to discover who you are or what you are here to do. But in this place of retraining your mind and your emotions and your body, in that place, you can begin to define a reality, a personality, functions of behavior, chains of thought, and chains of emotion, emotional energies that will indeed serve you in the function of learning to be the creator that you came here to be, and not to simply remain subjective to the whims of the environment around you, to your governments, to your politicians, to your priests, to your ministers, your rabbis, to anything outside of yourself. You may attain the authority that you desire within yourself, for within you is the kingdom of limitless possibilities. It is within you. It is within you here and now. But in order to get into this here and now, this present moment, there are several simple mechanisms you need to understand. The first is always your breathing. Very few of you understand that the function of your breath, when it comes under the jurisdiction of your own will, gives you an authority over matter, the matter of your body, the act of breathing. Is an assertion of your will immediately and directly over this substance called your body, this mechanism that you use while you're in this physical dimension. The function of breathing is the first and most important element on the path to learning how to restructure your mind and personality into a fashion that will serve you well. And so in the function of breathing, you can alter and change the rate and speed of your breathing to alter and change the function of biology. In other words, if you breathe your body slowly and deeply, as you do automatically when you put the body to a state you call sleep, where you put your body to rest, in that state, the body assumes a pattern of breathing, which allows it to correct and repair, regenerate, rejuvenate, and revitalize. Well, that state of sleep can be generated and stimulated by you at any moment through the function of breathing. If you understand that a slow and deep and rich breath in and out stimulates a reaction neurologically and chemically in your body that resembles sleep, then you can actually turn on the healing and regenerative functions of the body that are normally reserved for a state where you go to sleep, but you may access that energy in that state, stimulate that state in the body at any time. In getting your body to that place where by an act of your will you have trained it to breathe slowly and deeply, and it is now relaxed, and you find that as the body relaxes, certain qualities of emotion begin to change by the mere action of your breath. Slow, deliberate, calm breathing stimulates a very different energy in the body. That energy in your body, in turn, gives information or electrical feedback to your brain, and that feedback to your brain stimulates a change in its function. Your subconscious mind begins to undergo a change based on the way you begin to affect your biology, your body in this case, through the function of breathing. For those of you that have greater intensities and degrees of emotional qualities that you may have been struggling with for many years, the process will still function the same way. But your persistence in keeping the body still and quiet breathing slowly and deliberately, if you pay close attention and maintain that process, you will begin to feel the emotional ebbing, that is, the emotional qualities that you may be struggling with, will begin to subside as you maintain your focus on simply keeping your body in the function that mimics the process of sleep. You keep that breathing slow and deep and deliberate. And as you begin to experience the abeyance or the subsiding of certain emotional qualities, you will gain valuable understanding in knowing that you do indeed and are able to, in fact, alter and change the emotional energy that is imparted into your system from the environment. You can then have authority over altering and changing your emotions at will anytime, so that you no longer have to remain subjective to certain qualities that do not serve you. But it always begins, we find, with most through the function of breathing. The function of breathing. Slow, deep breaths that allow you to gain experience that your body will indeed follow your instructions, that qualities of emotion will react and respond to the way you direct your body, as equal as qualities of emotion will also respond to the nature and quality of the thoughts you consciously select and choose. But always with the breathing, we say, breathe slow, breathe deep. You may breathe any way you choose, through the nose or through the mouth, but the purpose is to give awareness to yourself that you can indeed, through your breath, begin a process of instructing your body and your mind into following your direction, instead of feeling as if you are pulled around by what is within the content of your mind and body. As we said too, this process will differ in degree, duration, and intensity from person to person. If the emotions that you're dealing with are very intense and strong, then the process of deliberate breathing slowly and calmly, directing your body to relax, may take a bit more time. But we can assure you that if you stay with the process, no matter how intense those emotions are, if you keep the body still and quiet through the function of your breath, even the most intense emotions will begin to subside. And then you learn what the great master says about calming the seas. You can calm the seas. Raise your hands and calm the seas is a very similar analogy to this process, where you're asserting your breath over the body, and the mind and emotions begin to subside. And when you gain that experience and that knowledge that you are indeed affecting your energy, your emotion, you now have an awareness that you may not have had before, that you can change the energy within your consciousness. Now, once the body is in that position where it is now surrendered and you can experience your emotions have diminished, and you find your mind then begins to become quieter and calmer, where you can actually direct it to do so. You can actually say, I release these thoughts, I release these memories, I release these emotions with my breath. And you go through this process of gently releasing your thoughts, giving your mind permission to be still and quiet. If your mind wants to think about this or think about that or go there, say, I'll use my breath and stay in this moment. I'm going to bring you to a place of stillness and quietude. And if you are persistent in that, then you begin to gain, as you experience thoughts in your mind subsiding, thoughts in your mind also begin to subside as you direct them to do so. But always begin with the process of the breath. Always return to the process of the breath. Even if the mind suddenly gets distracted or noises or things disturb you, return to your breath and say to the mind and body, breathe deeply, relax, be still. You might find that certain thoughts or phrases will be more beneficial for you. You might say, as you exhale, I release my tension, I release my thought, I release my tension, I release my thought. I give my mind and body permission to be still, to be quiet, to be open and receptive. You give your body that permission. And as you repeat process, you gain an understanding from your own experience that you no longer have to remain subjective to the thoughts and emotions that the world has given you. You may surrender them and then begin to cultivate a few thoughts and ideas of your own that begin to strengthen and empower and generate emotions in your body that are more life-serving. The emotions of anxiety and depression and fear are energies that will, in the long term, cause harm to your physical body, whereas the emotions of calm, peace, poise, excitement, playfulness will have a very different effect upon what will happen to your body and the way it will live through this dimension that you find yourself experiencing it in. So let us walk you through this simple process together. And hopefully you will take this and you will apply it. And you will begin to gain the awareness that is necessary for you to begin to generate the effects in your world that you need to. Once you understand that you can do this, there is nothing that will stop you from manifesting or manufacturing the experiences you desire in this world. Once you understand how to utilize thought, emotion, and your body, because those are the only three things you have to work with in this physical world, are the thoughts in your mind, the emotions, and the body. Those are the three things: mind, energy, matter. Mind, energy, and matter. When you understand how to utilize them as a function of your awareness, you will no longer have to be subjective to the world, but you may certainly utilize the components of this world and the information in this world that will serve you, and surrender and relinquish any thoughts, ideas, and information from the world that will not serve you. But only from the perspective of conscious awareness can you make deliberate choices like that. If you're subjective to your suffering, it's much harder to make choices that are going to benefit you. If you're subjective to your sadness, it is hard to make choices that are going to make you fulfilled and happy. If you're stuck in your depression, it's very hard to consider other possibilities. So let us take but 2 minutes with you to simply walk you through the process enough to give you the awareness, that you can alter and change the function of your body so that it is altering, and the function of your mind where it begins to change as you alter and affect the body. So let us breathe slowly and deeply now. As you will, we recommend you breathe in through the nose and you hold the breath for a few moments and then release the breath. And as you release the breath, you give the body deliberate permission to relax, to be still. You give the body deliberate permission to relax and be still. And let us do this. And then draw another breath in. Slow and deep. And as you allow the body to exhale, you give it permission to relax. Give it complete permission to relax. Give all your muscles, all your nerves, all your organs and glands permission to relax as you exhale. And feel how the body feels as you give it permission to relax on the exhale. Each breath you direct the body to take gives it permission to relax more fully and completely. Each exhale, give your body permission to relax even more. Even if it seems a little restless, give it permission to relax. Give any part of the body that becomes restless permission to relax as you breathe out. Continue to do this for about one more breath. If you find there are certain emotions that are still prevalent, again, simply breathe deeply. And as you exhale, give the body permission to relax even more. Direct it to relax even more. Allow it. To whatever degree you feel your body becoming calm and your mind becoming less noisy, to the degree that you feel emotional energy subsiding, getting less intense, to that degree you have effected a change in the system. If you persist, you may take the body and your emotions to a deeper state of open receptivity for your awareness to begin to work with them. The same principle now applies to your mind, where you draw your breath in and you observe the thoughts, the memories, the emotions, the concerns, the considerations that are in your mind. And as you exhale, you simply give them all permission to be still as you exhale. You give all thoughts, all memories, all emotions permission to be still as you exhale. And you maintain that process as you experience thought on the exhale being released, memories being released, emotions being released as you give them permission to be released on the exhale. You'll feel or become aware of a greater sense of calm and peace. And even if you only experience it to a little degree more than you had before, you have achieved a result in altering and changing the conditions within your mind and body as a function of your will. And this is what meditation is, recognizing that you can direct the functions of mind and body to operate as an extension of your will rather than you remaining subjective to them. Rather than you remaining subjective to mind and body, you now begin to assert an authority over them where they will begin to follow your direction and instructions, and they will do so gladly, for your body does not enjoy the suffering that occurs when chemistry is produced that is not supportive of its well-being, nor do you enjoy the sensation of emotional energy that is undirected and uncontrolled because of the nature of thoughts that are running around in your mind. But you may, through this process of simplicity, the function of your breath, direct mind, body, emotions to be still, to be quiet, and to be peaceful. To gain this experience will liberate you from the mind and body being your master to your mind and body becoming your servant. And only through the process of your awareness can you establish this within yourself. For if the world could establish that you could be free in your own mind and body, it would have been done by now. But it is given to you to do these things. It is given to you to calm the seas when they are rough, to restore the body to peace, to begin to articulate thoughts, ideas that you would like to see embodied in your life. But first, learning to establish your authority over your mind and body in a loving fashion, not the authority you have been given by the world around you, but the authority that you would ideally wish to be governed by. Become that which you wish to experience. become a loving, compassionate authority over your mind and body. Through the breath, you can give it rest and respite from the emotional confusion that may be perpetrated by the information provided to you from the world, and simultaneously begin to liberate the confusion in your mind by releasing unnecessary thoughts and ideas and memories and emotions as a function of your breath. Gaining the experience of this is very important for humanity at this time, for humanity has a collective role energetically in what is occurring or not occurring in your experiences of this physical dimension. If you believe that you are solely a physical body with a collage of thoughts and emotions in it, and that this is all that you are, then you will miss the boat in your potential of being a divine creator, that you are in fact able to assert authority over mind, authority over energy, which is emotion, and authority over matter, which is your body. And all the products of human creation come through this process of awakening, directing thought, creating emotion that directs the matter of your body, and all that you have created as a species, individually and collective, follow that simple process. It is not very complex. But there are those that would tell you that you can only find peace in what they would offer you. And we simply say the peace that can be offered to you is within your own consciousness. You must offer it to yourself. For those of you that are here right now, this is the Divine Collective with me, and I really love their energy. They have different things to say and do, but I want to say thank you to their presence with us today. Understanding that, that body that you're in is just an instrument you're using. It follows your direction, right? It's an instrument that follows your direction, just as it follows the directions of the thoughts and ideas that you give it. Anyway, I want to thank the Divine Collective for being present with us. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Saturday. You're very welcome. Who we got here? Hello, Elena. Hello, Christopher. Hello, Khan. Hi there. If anybody's got any questions or concerns about this process, or you're struggling with emotions, depression, fear, anxiety, take a moment to ask some questions. We have a few minutes to take some questions before we have to go on to one of our exciting adventures. Yes. If you want to know more about what mediumship is, and you want to understand a process for learning to become a medium, to begin to download information as a function of your will, because information is not just what you get from the world. There's an infinite spectrum of information available to everybody. It's where all new ideas and innovation come to men from the invisible realms. I've had so many people say to me, yeah, sure, there's life after death. There is no death, for starters. There's only life, period. Your mind is not who you are. Your thoughts are not who you are. They constitute the personality that you think you have. And your thoughts are also invisible. They're invisible to everybody around you. They're invisible even to you. You just are aware of them, but they're invisible. There's an invisible realm that's causing effects in the visible realm. And you are an awareness that can affect thought and emotion, and thereby cause effects in the visible realm. Very exciting what's going on. Question from Olena. I've struggled the past 2 days. What's been happening? Any advice? Great question, Olena. These ascension energies that are coming into the planet right now, everybody's experiencing them. No, it doesn't matter who you are, how much wealth you have, how poor you are, where you live, where you don't. It does not matter. Every single human soul, every living creature on this planet is experiencing these energies that have the label ascension energies. Science has measured some of these invisible energies and calls them things like X-rays and gamma rays and cosmic rays. There's different names that scientifically they have for these energies. But there are other energies besides those ones in the invisible spectrum. There are energies in the form of consciousness and information that are also bombarding this planet. And your capacity to alter and change and repurpose or restructure those energies into a matrix of information that supports and sustains your life will be very beneficial to many of you. So you may find that these energies can be somewhat overwhelming, but again, if you apply the process, if you create a lens in your consciousness, that is a focus in your awareness, and you align your mind and body to this focus of being open and receptive to higher guidance and information, then the way these energies come in will affect you very differently than those simply being affected on the level of biology alone or the level of personality. The level of personality and the level of biology allow these energies to express in those ways, whatever those limits and functions are. In fact, you can alter the frequency modulation of your body and your mind so as to experience these energies very differently. Even what you would call radiation, gamma radiation, all these different forms. If your biology is in a different frequency, it will be affected differently. Which is why some people can be exposed to something and be harmed by it. Another person can be exposed by the same thing and not be harmed by it, because the vibrational state of the system is very different. But do not be disturbed by these energies. Simply go into that place of gratitude and excitement and peace and compassion. Be in these energies and let that be the lens through which light comes. Wow. Thank you for that question, Elena. Question from Jacqueline. Question from Jacqueline. My sister has a lot of depression and poverty consciousness. How can I help her? This is a great question, Jacqueline. Bring her to this video. Bring her to the process of teaching first how to get her mind and body into a different state of functioning. And there are certainly programs and schools and teachers out there that she can go to and get the psychological and emotional evaluations that she needs and the support that she might be able to find. But what we've discovered is that simply learning to teach your mind and body into a new function of thought and emotion can often stimulate wonderful and amazing things happening very rapidly in her life. But to you directly, we would simply say this: get her to sit with her depression. Get her to sit down with her depression. Get her to relax with it. And then get her to identify where in her body she holds her depression. Have her move her awareness to the place in her body where she holds her depression. Different people hold it in different places. And then have her extend her love and kindness to her depression. Get her to treat her depression like a child that needs love from her. And if she offers her love to that depression, she will experience a change in her energy. Well, thank you, Jacqueline. Oh, Sophia, thank you for that super chat. One of the ways you can support this channel is by using the super chat feature in the conversation panel if you're on YouTube. And also the super thanks if you're watching this video in replay. There are so many incredible things coming up for us as a species. We have such a great opportunity. You know, I'm watching all these different levels of consciousness happening. Some are fear and some are anger, some are joy. We got so many realms of information, but it doesn't matter who you are on the planet, what your position or power is, or what your lack of power is, you believe. Every one of us is receiving these energies, and these energies will only elevate what you hold in your own mind and heart. If you hold fear in your mind or in your heart, which is your subconscious mind, if you hold fear, then that's what will be amplified. If you hold anger, that is what will be amplified. And their behaviors are effects of the emotions you're most attached to, all of which are amenable to change as a function of your will. You can alter and change emotional energy by how you interact with it. You can literally change an emotion by the way you interact with it. But that's what comes to us for you, Jacqueline. Thank you, and much blessings to your sisters. Wonderful. Well, guys, I want to say thank you for coming out. And if, again, review this video again. The simplicity of what they're teaching us is incredible. It's so simple to literally teach your body to go into a different state by the way you make it breathe, to teach your mind to become still and quiet by using your breath to release thought from your mind. It's very simple. And remember, it will differ by degree and intensity from person to person. Some people whose had been clinically depressed for years might need to apply this process more fully and slowly and deeply. But again, once you can change an emotion and you gain an experience, you altered your depression or you altered your anxiety by just simply breathing and giving the body permission to release that. Or you can watch my video from Archangel Michael earlier this week. I believe it was on Wednesday. Master Jesus on Monday, Archangel Michael on Wednesday, where they talk specifically about forgiveness and what that really is, not what the church has taught, not what we've been told to believe, but what forgiveness really is as a function of healing. Anyway, I wish you all much, much love. I want to say thank you to everybody for coming out today. Thank you for your support, Sophia. If you want to support this channel, you can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. Thank you, everybody. And much love to you. Have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. And I will see you guys. Well, we got students and we got her starting on Mediumship 103 masterclass today in about 15 minutes from now. And if you want to go to my website, WilliamMichaelForbes.com, you can check out some of our other mediumship programs we have coming up in the next month. Have yourselves a wonderful, a joyful day. Bye for now.